Hey guys, welcome back to another session of bioavailability. What we're going to do now is just dig a little bit deeper and talk about the different parts that make up bioavailability. So let's get started. As we talked earlier, when a drug first enters the system, it goes through a long process before it can reach systemic circulation. The drug has to go from the GI lumen, through the gut wall, to the liver, and then finally, whatever's left can reach systemic circulation. So in each one of these little processes here, we have the potential to lose different drugs based on the bioavailability. So bioavailability, as we know, is the letter F. And it is broken up into F equals FA times FG times FFP. So now we can break up each one of those parts and look at how each one of those affects bioavailability. First, we'll look at FA. So FA is basically just the fraction of the drug that is absorbed. So it's the fraction that enters the intestinal tissue and is not lost into the feces or decomposed into the lumen. So it's just the fraction absorbed. So I guess it makes sense why bioavailability is now expressed as the term F, because it's all looking at the fractions. Fg is the fraction that escapes the GI. FFP is the fraction that escapes the liver. So when you want to find out what the total bioavailability is, you just multiply these three things, and that'll tell you how much of your drug actually made it to systemic circulation. So when we're talking about the fraction absorbed, there are things that can cause a lower fraction to be absorbed. We have things such as non-enzymatic reactions, such as acid hydrolysis in the stomach. That can affect how much of the drug is absorbed. We also have enzymatic reactions. So we have digestive, metabolic, and even microfloral enzymes that are working in the intestinal lumen that can affect how much drug is being absorbed. And then down here, we also have reactions with other drugs that can reduce absorption. So even before we can get to the liver or anywhere else in the body, the drug has to be absorbed. And there are plenty of things that are possibly blocking it, just kind of like our soccer players over here, blocking the ability of the drug to even get absorbed. So from the very beginning, we could be having problems. Now, just regardless of what could be going on in the body, also the drug's characteristics make a big difference as to whether or not it's absorbed. So some of the characteristics that really affect absorption is, if they're unionized, that's great, low polarity, and high lipid solubility. These characteristics combined will allow the drug to penetrate through the membrane and more of it to get to systemic circulation. But just remember, if it does not get absorbed, the drug still has to go somewhere. It just doesn't die and disappear. It has to be eliminated through our feces. Alright guys, that's all there is really to the fraction absorbed. So keep on listening and we'll talk about FG and FFP. Thanks guys!